Let's begin now.
Entre-SLAM is a great idea. I love the energy and the vibe.
We are going to bring up our first storyteller.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I would like to bring up our next storyteller, so get ready to judge. Mohammed Mazhari of Ballot. Come on up.
So I am an extremely fortunate person. I'm currently a freshman at the University of Michigan, but more importantly, I am one of the co-founders of a startup that is hoping to re-engage and change how people interact with the political process. No, really, we want to change politics. Not because we just want to change politics, because someone has to do it. I owe a lot of my personal success to the amazing community of people around me and the people that have supported me all the way through, but a lot of the inspiration for the idea for our startup came from my home back in Pakistan. And because of that, I am extremely grateful. So right before I was born, my grandmother, who lived in Pakistan, became very sick. And my parents, being the very family-oriented people they were, decided to pack up all their things and move back there. And that's where a large part of my life was spent. And the one thing I vividly remember was that the education system was so different. I remember sitting in a classroom for 8 hours straight, just listening to teachers talk on and on and on. No questions, no answers, just listening. Imagine the social shock when I came to the United States and all of a sudden I was asked to participate. I was asked to answer questions, ask questions, and have my voice on the table. Not just that, but when I came here, I had access to this amazing thing called the internet, where I could learn about whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Because of this, I am an extremely fortunate person. So about a year ago, I was accepted to the University of Michigan, and I was ecstatic. But right before I moved to Ann Arbor, I remember being really entrenched in this topic called net neutrality. You see, like I said, the internet was my door to everywhere else. That's how I learned a lot of things that I didn't really understand before. So I cared a lot about free-flowing information and the opportunity to have access to an open and wide internet. So I was really passionate about net neutrality, and I expected the same kind of response from everyone else on this campus. But when I got here, I was disappointed. No one seemed to be doing anything. That didn't make any sense to me because back in Pakistan, people's voices didn't really matter. The average person couldn't contribute to the political process. But here it's different. People are the underlying reason why this political system works. And the fact that people weren't doing anything kind of confused me. So I asked myself, why isn't someone doing anything? There has to be a better way. And I remember thinking, why not me? Fortunately enough, I was able to find 3 other people who were thinking the exact same thing. And we came together and we created something called Ballot. So Ballot is a mobile platform where everyday people can go online and they can learn about legislation around issues that matter to them. Whether it's race, NASA, genetics, high school education, people can easily figure out bills and legislation that is going on in their communities. And then people can actually vote on those bills, which goes straight back to their representative. So what we're doing is creating a platform that goes all the way from information around legislation to communication. Ballot's only been around for 3 months, but in that time we've done some incredible things. We've had the opportunity to go to events like Tech Week Detroit, South by Southwest. We've won multiple competitions all around campus, and we've garnered the support of hundreds of people in the form of signups, advisors, mentors, and supporters of a rehauling of the political process. The problem right now isn't that we need to get more voters out or that people need to go out and pick someone or be angry about stuff. It's that people need to engage in the political process. We see the consequences of that right now where in areas like Ferguson and Baltimore right now where people feel like they don't have a voice. They want to engage, but they don't know how to, so they turn to anger and frustration as the last resort. There has to be a better way to solve these problems. The goal of Ballot and our hope is that people can create communities that matter to them. People can put their voices back on the table. People can become part of the political process because, after all, we are all very fortunate people. Thank you.
You gave us the background for the story, you drew us into the story, and you were very clear in what your purpose was, and you did it all within 5 minutes. And you got, I mean, I'm going to look it up online. I think you did an outstanding job.
Thank you.
No, I agree, and I think, you know, one thing we saw starting with Occupy Wall Street was people wanting to have their voices out a bit more, but there was sort of a lack of leadership of what to do with those voices. And that was a movement that kind of dwindled out as a result. And I like this idea you have that people can engage and hope that their legislator will look at these results and they'll be sent to him or her and hopefully make a difference.
So deeply compelling. What I loved about it, so I agree, I thought that was absolutely fantastic. It was fantastic because there was passion there was purpose there, but you had the discipline to put that into a storytelling narrative that pulled us along. And you used some really neat tricks as well, so there were markers all along the way through in that narrative that kept us there, kept us engaged. So yeah, extremely good, and I'm going to check it out as well.
Thank you so much.